Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Mila Braika, and we're looking at light as it shines in the darkness. And I've done a study on light, and now it's the light shining in the darkness, conquering the darkness, bringing light into the darkness, and the darkness cannot stand up to the light of God. So it's a very, very interesting aspect of how we see or what happens to darkness when the work of the Lord takes place. So let's get to it. Starting with Genesis 1 verse 2, right to start, there's a mention here of Hoshek, that's the darkness. It is a segolate. When you have a segolate, there's a segolate right here. I used to think of segolates as needing both segols, but no, just one will do. And but it carries then a milial accenting, and that's a very common, very usual form. And every time we're going to see Hoshek, it's going to be with a milial accenting. והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו וחושך על פני תהום ורוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים. Another segolate here with a nice milal accenting as well. So, and then the earth was was empty, without form and void. Tohu vabohu. This is one phrase my students seem to constantly remember. They'll greet me years afterwards and say, "Ay, tohu vabohu." One of the reasons I say is when you start your Hebrew studies, your mind is tohu vavohu, it's empty and void. We're going to fill it with Hebrew knowledge. So hopefully some of them are still filling their minds with Hebrew knowledge. V'hoshek al feneh tehom, and darkness was on the face of the depths, the deep. Ve'ruach Elohim marahefet al feneh hamayim. Psalm 18, for to you who light my lamp, it is you who light my lamp. This is speaking to God. You who light my lamp, Jehovah my God lightens my darkness. In other words, Jehovah my God brings light to my darkness, makes my light shine out. Ki ata, because you, second person pronoun, independent pronoun here. Ta'ir, this is you light. The same ir as we see in the blessing of Aaron's blessing, in high priestly blessing, Ya'er, okay, Jehovah lights. Ne'er, my light, my lamp, okay. This is a verbal form of or, okay, so ta'ir, ner, re. Yehovah Elohai, yegach, hoshki, okay, hoshki. Also, take a look. This is an unaccent closed syllable, and then there's, because of that, no accenting on the comma. It's going to be comma satuf. So our root, we understand very clearly, hoshek, because of the holop, and the derivations of it here. It's an agglutinated with first person ending to it. Hoshki, my darkness. Okay, you brighten my darkness. Then they cried to Jehovah in their trouble. He delivered them from their distress. He brought them out from the darkness and the shadow of death and burst their bonds apart. This is something that Jehovah has done for his people. They were, in deep trouble. And so this is the work of Jehovah to conquer the darkness. So he brings them from the darkness, okay? Rescues them from the darkness. So, Shaku, and then they cried out, Al Yehovah, to Jehovah, Batsar Lachem, in their affliction of them, Misokotechem, in their distress, okay? Trouble, this is trouble, Batsar, and this is distress, Matsorotechem, very much parallel with the bonds, okay? Here the root is Sadikof, and here it's Samek Resh. Okay, so this is the distresses. Their distresses should be a plural actually, but it translates better as a singular here. Mitzah so kotechem, and their distresses. Yotsheim, he saves them. The root is based on Yeshua. That's the same root as Yeshua, and but he saves them. Yotzehem, he draws them out, brings them out. Mehoshek, from the darkness. This is a preposition of from, deriving from, pulling from. Mehoshek. Shalmavet, and the shadow of death. These will be label when they're labials here to start. The conjunction is going to be a surik rather than something else. So this one's vav patan, but this one's a surik. Moshe ro techem, and their bonds. Ye nak ket, it would chop them out, boom, 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 break them, burst them out. Okay. The tau here helps us. It's something the Lord puts his finger on and snaps it apart. Okay. Okay. Anytime you have a tau, something is marked with the finger of God, boom, it breaks it out. Okay. So one nice colorful way of looking at it. Psalm 139 is very interesting because it's the psalmist here is saying, okay, where could I get away from God? He knows everything I think about. Now I'm going to try hide out in the darkness. And hiding out in the middle of the night, finding the darkest day or the darkest cave or the darkest place to hide out doesn't work. This is a rhetorical question here, or rhetorical statement. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, the light around me will be night, even the darkness is not dark to you. And this is an opportunity here to look at a verbal form of hoshek, because that's what we see here. Even the darkness is not darkening to you. The night shines like the day, and the darkness and light are alike to you. Okay, we have, Hoshechem, Hoshecha, and Orcha, Orach. Well, Omar, and then I would say, now this is the root here is Aleph Mem Resh, but the first Aleph does have a double function of providing us the first person pronoun, or the first person of this verb here. So Aleph, think of the first person, think of it also as part of the root, as a double function. Omar al-Ach, I would say, certainly, Hoshek, ye shufeini, will cover me. And the shof, now we have sof pasuk here. A shof is the plate that covers or stops something, and it's in a sense that darkness is like a plate that's on top of me, and boom, it's covering me up here. Yeshufeini, Yeshufeini. Ve'laila, in the darkness, or is light, be'adeni, all around me, okay? And it's all just light all around me. So in other words, the psalmist here is trying to look for hiding into the darkness, but it doesn't work because the light really of God does shine around. Okay, even in the darkness, the light of God in a certain sense is there. Gam hoshek, because it's the same as the darkness. Lo ye ya yachsich. This is then the verbal form. Being dark. Okay, is not being dark. Mimecha, compared to you, coming from you. Okay, these are two prepositions stacked on each other, and then a suffix to pronoun here, second person singular, coming from you. So gam hoshek lo yach zik. It is darkening. It is not darkening. This is negative here. Not darkening from you. Ve'laila, and the night, keyom, as the day, ya'er, okay, lights out. This is the verbal form of or. Here you have the noun here, verb right here, ya'ir, shines out. Ke hoshecha, as the darkness, okay. This is the condition of darkness. Hoshek is darkness, okay, and the condition of darkness, okay. You find the same kind of comments here at Sadiq, Sadika, Adam, Adama, it's a condition of something, okay. So this condition of darkness, keor, as like the condition of light, okay. Same thing here with the kametse, providing condition. This is as the condition of light, as the condition of darkness, and these two then basically before God are the same thing. So we might try to hide ourselves in the dark. To the Lord, it all looks just as bright as day for Him. So we have to understand that. Cannot hide ourselves into the darkness. It doesn't work. So the matter of darkness, Hoshek, comes right here, way at the end here. Here's our noun, so it's baderche, in the paths of darkness. Now this is a proverb, and it's talking about the works of evil perverted speech, paths of forsaking the paths of uprightness, so forth. In other words, heading into sin. This is regarded as a path of darkness. In other words, a sinful behavior leads us down to a path of darkness. So this is where this proverb is going right here. Mishma teshmer alecha tebuna tin serecha. This is natzer, to guard, or to same as Nazarene here. Lechatzlecha, to save you. Mederech, from the way of the evil one. Okay, rach. Me'ish, me'devar, ha tach hucha. That is the way of evil. Okay, the path of evil. Ta ha ozvein aruchot yetzer. Those who are abandoning the paths of right, the straight living, yetzer, being straight. Laket, in order to walk. This is a preposition purpose in front of an infinitive here. In order to walk, infinitive root of halach. Okay, so lech b'derche hoshek, in the ways of darkness. Okay, bad behavior, evil things, sinful things are ways of darkness. Now, Isaiah 60, verse 20 is a word of hope to us, because darkness covers the earth, total darkness the peoples, but Jehovah will shine over you. Reflecting back on the way Jehovah brought his people out of Egypt, he was a light marching on before them, and at night a column of fire, and in the daytime a column of smoke. But yeah, Jehovah is shining before you. His glory will appear over you. Kihine hahoshik, because the darkness. Yekase. Kase is to cover, same as covering a seat. It's kase. It's a plate that covers something. Used as a verb here, of course. Kase. Aretz. Eretz. Nice double segulate here with a milel accenting of the segulate. The arfal, and that is the very darkness, total darkness. Le mu la umim, of the peoples, plural form of am. Okay, so le umim, so the peoples. In context, if you see this with ayin or aleph, considered the same. It's one of those places where aleph and ayin are interchangeable. So le umim, okay, the peoples. Ve alech, and over you. Zerah, shining out. These are the rays going out, spreading out here. Zerah Yehovah, the rays of the light of Jehovah spreading out. Hu kevdo, and his glory, his weight, his power. Alecha, over you. Yere, will appear. Okay, so this is a prefix form. The root here is resh aleph he. Everything's here of the root. Often this he is assimilated, but it's still here. And then this is the prefix of the third person prefixed here. This glory then you will be seen, will appear over you. And then brings us to John 1, verse 5. The light shines in the darkness will has not overcome it. In this life, we are now in a constant battle of light and darkness. The evil of the world, when sin entered the world, actually when the world was first created, there was just darkness. We're talking about physical darkness, but with the sin of Adam and Eve, we certainly came under spiritual and under sinful darkness. And so when the light of God shines above us or over us, and when Jesus came to this world, he came as the light, and he came as the light to shine in a world of darkness, to shine in a sinful world, to bring again clarity, to bring purity again to the world, to redeem the world, and that's his task, to bring light into the world. He has brought this light into this darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. And John, it's a very interesting wrap-up statement here, right at the start of the ministry, telling us just what Jesus would do in this world, bring light into darkness, and save this world from sin. May God bless.